Most people think they can spot a wealthy person. They're wrong. The real ones? You've walked past them 100 times and never noticed. They weren't wearing anything that gave it away. Their car didn't announce them. Their watch was nice but not loud. And that's exactly the point. Because true wealth doesn't need to be seen. It needs to be felt. Quietly, over time, like compounding interest. Here's what I want you to understand by the end of this video. The signals that society trained you to look for, the designer clothes, the flashy jewelry, the Instagram lifestyle, those aren't signs of wealth. Those are often signs of the opposite. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. There are 10 real signs, and one of them, I'll save it for later, flipped everything I thought I knew about money. Stay with me. The first sign is almost invisible. Truly wealthy people have a bizarre relationship with time. They treat it like it's the only currency that actually matters. Because it is. Think about the people you know who look the richest. What do they do with their days? They're busy. Frantically busy. Meetings, deadlines, always on. Now think about someone genuinely wealthy. They move differently. They say no without explaining themselves. They're never rushing anywhere because they've structured their life so they don't have to. There's a concept in Vicki Robbins' book, Your Money or Your Life. The idea that money is just stored life energy. Every dollar you earn costs you real time, real years. And the person who is truly wealthy figured out how to stop trading time for money and start making money work the other way around. Their calendar looks empty to outsiders. To them, it's full of everything that matters. The second sign, they don't talk about money at dinner. Ever. If you've ever sat across from someone truly wealthy, not newly rich, but genuinely generationally comfortable, you've probably noticed they talk about ideas, travel, people, problems worth solving. Not returns, not salaries, not what something costs. This isn't arrogance. It's because money has already been solved as a topic for them. It's like breathing. They don't think about it consciously because they're not scared of running out. And that silence around money, that's a form of peace most people never reach. Now pause for a second. Drop a comment below. Do you think you talk about money too much or not enough? I'm genuinely curious where people land on this. Sign 3 hits differently. Wealthy people are almost pathologically unbothered by what other people think of their purchases or their non-purchases. A genuinely wealthy friend of mine, and I mean someone who could write a 6-figure check tomorrow without flinching, drives a 4-year-old Honda. Not out of performance, not as a social statement, just because it works, and he genuinely doesn't care. Meanwhile, his neighbor, who makes a solid income, just leased a car he couldn't quite afford because the lease payment looked manageable on paper. That's the gap. One person buys for function and keeps the difference. The other performs wealth while quietly falling behind. And the brutal truth is that the performance costs a fortune. Lifestyle inflation is the silent tax on people who care too much about what others think. Fourth sign, and this one might sting a little. Truly wealthy people have a small, fiercely loyal circle, and they are absolutely ruthless about protecting it. Not rude, not cold, just precise. They know that your 5 closest relationships are basically your financial and emotional future in preview mode. There's research on this. The famous Framingham Heart Study tracked thousands of people over decades and found that behaviors, moods, and even financial outcomes spread through social networks like viruses. Who you eat dinner with, who you talk to when things get hard, who you compare yourself to, all of it shapes what's possible for you. Wealthy people didn't stumble into this. They made quiet, sometimes difficult choices about who gets access to their time and energy. And those choices compound just like money does. Sign 5, they are comfortable being boring with their money. No hot tips, no meme stocks, no just heard about this opportunity conversations. The genuinely wealthy are almost aggressively boring about how they invest. Index funds, real estate held for decades, businesses built slowly. Boring, boring, boring. And you know what boring produces? Results that don't require drama or luck. The 34-year-old mechanical engineer who has been maxing out his 401k since his first paycheck reinvesting dividends without thinking about them, never panic sold during a crash, he will quietly retire with more money than people who spent those same years chasing high-risk plays and getting burned. Not because he was smarter, because he was boring. Boring is wildly underrated. Sign 6 is one people completely overlook. They carry no financial shame. When something goes wrong, a deal falls through, a business fails, a bad investment, truly wealthy people process it and move. No spiral, no identity collapse, no 6 months of paralysis. This is rarer than it sounds. Most of us were raised with money loaded with emotion, shame, fear, pride, secrecy. Wealthy people, whether they grew up with it or built it, have somehow made peace with money as a neutral tool. It comes, it goes. What matters is the system underneath. That emotional neutrality is actually a superpower, because fear-based financial decisions are almost always expensive ones. All right, sign 7. I told you I'd save this one. Here it is. Truly wealthy people have already thought about their death. Seriously. Not in a morbid way. In a practical, structured, intentional way. They have wills. They have trusts. They have clear instructions for what happens to every meaningful asset when they're gone. They've had the hard conversations with their families that most people spent decades avoiding. And here's the part that flipped everything for me. The willingness to plan for death is actually a signal of how seriously someone takes their life. The person who has thought carefully about their legacy is also the person who has thought carefully about how to build one. You can't separate the two. Estate planning, generational wealth, intentional giving, these aren't end-of-life activities. They're signs of a mind that thinks in decades, not months. Most people live financially like they're immortal. Wealthy people live like every year matters. Sign 8, they read, but not what you'd expect. It's not always finance books. It's history, biography, philosophy. They're obsessed with understanding how humans behave under pressure, how systems break down, how empires rise and fall, and why. Because someone who understands human nature at a deep level is almost impossible to manipulate. They see sales tactics for what they are. They see bubbles forming before they pop. They don't panic when everyone else does because they've read about this exact moment playing out in a different century. Financial literacy is one thing. Pattern recognition is another. The truly wealthy are playing a completely different game. Sign 9. They have infrastructure you can't see. Accountants, tax attorneys, financial advisors who they actually trust and actually consult, a family doctor they've had for years, a therapist, a network of people who are genuinely excellent at things they are not. This is where most people get the picture wrong. The wealthy don't do everything alone. They invest heavily in getting the right people around them for every domain of life. Not because they can't figure it out themselves, because they understand that the cost of doing something poorly, especially something involving money, health, or legal exposure, is almost always higher than the cost of the expert. The person who does their own taxes to save a few $100s and misses a deduction that costs them thousands, that's not frugality. That's false economy. Truly wealthy people learned this early and built their infrastructure accordingly. And sign 10, the one that quietly separates everyone else from the truly wealthy. They are at peace with enough. Not apathy. Not giving up. Not I'm fine where I am. Real, earned, chosen peace with having enough for a full life, and then continuing to build, not out of fear, but out of genuine curiosity and purpose. Because the person who is never satisfied, who always needs the next thing to feel okay, that person is trapped. Wealth without peace is just expensive anxiety. The truly wealthy figured out, some early, some after years of chasing the wrong thing, that the goal was never the number. The number was always just the vehicle. The real destination was freedom, time, relationships that weren't transactional, work that felt chosen, a life that felt built, not borrowed. That's the thing no one tells you when you're starting out. You think wealth is about accumulation, and then somewhere along the way, the smartest people figure out it's really about architecture. What you build, how you build it, and most importantly, what it's for. If this video made you see something differently today, subscribe. Share with your loved ones who need this. I'll see you in the next one.